Welcome to Fortune's Hiding Down Under TV. I am here with Dave. It's Monday night in Brisbane. Dave, how are you doing?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm all right. I won't ask how your weekend was because we're going to talk about the fucking football. But apart from the football, how was your weekend?
Very good, mate. Yeah, we went out and had a few drinks at the Pig. I got absolutely battered, as did West Ham.
Good man.
Good turnout, reasonable turnout. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yourself? How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, I didn't come. I had a prior commitment, tickets for a gig in the Valley Saturday night. And it's typical, isn't it? We only get one or two 9:30 kickoffs each year, and they moved that fucking game that just clashed at exactly the same time. The guy didn't come on till 9:30. So,
what was that? S+7, was it?
Sugar Babes, mate. Sugar Babes.
Yeah.
No, was it? So yeah, I was. To be honest, I'd had a few drinks during the day, and I got the notification saying we'd gone 1-0 up. Must have been pretty dodgy reception in there because I didn't get any more notifications then. Till I came out.
So you thought you won 1-0 then?
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't looking, to be honest. But yeah, I thought there was a good chance that we'd fucking won. So yeah, it was good. It was good. I watched all of the game yesterday. Put myself through the pain of it, but yeah, the weekend was all right, apart from the football as usual. So I mean, I don't really know where you fucking start. It started off all right.
Let's start on some positive, shall we? That is probably the best performance I've seen from Jarrod Bowen.
Oh, he was class, wasn't he?
He was just everywhere, and I didn't think Curtis was too bad either. I thought, the sending offs not great. It shows a bit of passion though. Shows that he cares, and you kind of want to see a bit of fire in the belly in a London derby. You want him to be upset that we're 4-1 down. And actually, I thought he was putting in a shift.
Yeah.
So I can understand his frustration.
Absolutely, and I didn't mind seeing it, to be honest. The fucking Yids went down like a sack of shit, didn't they? But you can't, the minute you put your hands in someone's face, you're gonna get sent off. But I didn't mind. He's got a bit of an attitude, Curtis, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. He's frustrated, and that the game that he got hauled off. I can't remember what it was. He'd come back with a really good attitude, and that's what you want to see. I just, the danger is it just goes on and on to the point where he gets really fucking pissed off and wants to walk out the door.
Look, the major downside of the sending off, mate, for me is actually I think that Man United at home coming up is beatable, but I think we really, really need him.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think he played well. Bowen was unbelievable. He was absolutely unbelievable.
He was everywhere.
If ever I didn't deserve to lose a game 4-1, it was him.
Where do you think it all went wrong? Because I saw us we rode our luck at times in the first half in terms of the amount of possession that we didn't have and they did have. They were peppering shots, and for me, when they got their equaliser, there was an element of luck, but it's a numbers game, right? They were having a lot of shots on goal at that point, and it was almost inevitable that one was going to go in sooner or later.
Yeah, it was. Look, I'm still. I already knew the score of the game before I watched it, so I was probably overly critical in the way I was looking at it. Personally, I think it all went wrong with our midfield, probably specifically fucking Lucas Paquetá. I think there was just too much. I don't know. Those three in the middle. There's no pace. There's no agility. There's no one flying in with tackles. There's no one, making tactical fouls to stop people running through the middle. And I don't know. What went wrong is that we let the game get away from us in the space of 6 or 7 minutes, where up until that point, it hadn't been that bad. Yes, we'd ridden our luck. And, 1-1 with an 50 minutes gone. It's still anyone's game. We just absolutely fucking capitulated, didn't we?
I think even at 2-1, there's a way back in. But that own goal was death now, wasn't it?
It was harsh. Like, it was unlucky, wasn't it?
Very harsh.
I don't know what Areola was doing coming out with his feet, to be honest. I've only watched it. I haven't sort of gone back and analysed it again, but I don't know. He just looked like he a better goalkeeper would have come out and just claimed the ball with his hands, and whether he took out to Debo or whoever else, and then those things don't happen. I mean, that's probably overly critical, but I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Our central midfield just looks very, very fucking lightweight. There's nobody in there. And I don't even know, apart from Alvarez, that there's nobody at the club really that sort of fits that. When the chips are down, when you've conceded a goal or two quickly, and you just need someone to fucking shore it up and be a bit of a niggly bastard about it. We're just soft. We just look really soft.
I thought Guido looked very good in the first half, and he made Chris Coy's just put up a comment there. They had 13 corners before the half, and a lot of those were down to the fact that Guido was sliding in and putting some tremendous blocks. He did the same block 3 times in a row, which conceded 3 corners, but they were like goal-saving blocks because that was coming into the box, right? I've kind of lost track of where he got to with his own personal performance in the second half. Lost interest when we went fucking 4-1 down. Do you know what I mean? But I actually, because I was ropeable that he was starting over Alvarez, and on evidence of the first half, I actually think he gave a really good account of himself.
Yeah.
But I also think you can't be leaving Alvarez out, though. So I think if Paquetá's playing like shit, I'd rather have Guido and Alvarez in there and whoever else in with them.
100%. There's another comment here from Chris. Thanks for joining us, Chris. If you were out on Saturday, I don't know if you were. But sorry,
no, he didn't come.
He said, agreed. Not sure we had a midfield. I can't tell if it's just part of JLo's game plan, but there seems to be no connection between the back and the forwards. I'd probably go as far as saying that there's not much connection between any of the areas of the pitch. We've got, I was going to say, some of our defenders are playing well, which is a strange thing to say after a 4-1 game. But, they're not, we're not connecting. The defence ain't connecting with the midfield, and we're not connecting with the front. We've got people in spells in certain games that are playing okay. But, we're not. I don't know. There's no cohesion at all. We're relying on people like Bowen and Kudus to have moments to keep us in games. I don't know. It's looking a bit fucking worrying at the moment.
Look, I thought we were having a go in that first half. I thought, lots of players were going forward very well. I think, we surrendered a bit of possession and were under the cosh a bit. Chris mentioned they had 13 corners, so they definitely had the lion's share of the first half. But it was still end-to-end entertaining stuff from both teams, I thought. The capitulation is what concerns me, because I just think we've become a little bit fragile.
Yeah, fragile is probably an appropriate word. There's a comment here from Gary Brock about the goalkeepers. He reckons that Areola and Fabs are both number 2s. We could have got Ramsdale, who's gone to Southampton.
I think he's having a great season.
He's not. I was going to say he's probably regretting his life going there now, isn't he? But he is a good keeper. Look, Areola and Fabianski are good keepers, but I do think there's an element of calling it out like Gary has. They're not. Areola, to me, isn't getting any better. He's no better now than he was when he first turned up, and there's no real reason. I'd say he's probably less. he's probably less reliable now than he was. And he's not at the age where that should be coming into play. Fabianski is, he's getting old. His decline, if you want to call it that, is only because of age. But
yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know what you do now. You don't want to change a goalkeeper when we've got so many other changes going on as well.
I mean, he's not looked fabulous, but there was a point last season where I think we were talking and we kind of thought we had 2 number 1 goalkeepers. As a case of keeping the backup happy because they both deserved a starting berth. I don't know. I mean, Areola's. I don't know. He makes brilliant saves in the same game, and then some absolute howlers. I mean, he made a couple of very good saves in that game, but he also probably was culpable for, us going behind as well.
The one that went in off both posts, was that the second?
No, that was the first one.
That was the first.
The equaliser.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he probably should have done better with that.
I think some are blaming him for the own goal because using his legs and I don't know. It was a horrible fucking goal though. It was a horrible own goal.
Yeah, it was. So, it was just demoralising, wasn't it? And knowing that the game was gone at that point, even if you're 2 or 3-1 down, and caveat that with the fact that we were 3-0 down with fucking 8 minutes to go at that place, and we ended up getting a point out of it. But you're 3 goals behind. It takes the whole fucking buzz out of watching the rest of the game as well, doesn't it? Fortunately, it didn't get any worse. When Son hit the post, and you think if that one goes in, you could be talking 6, 7, or 8. Oh yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Jesus Christ, mate! Look, I'm gutted that we haven't put a good show. And look, I think we did have something about us in the first half, but I'm gutted that we've gone through Chelsea at home and Spurs away, and got a 3-goal margin in both games to the deficit, right? And you go, those 2 teams, we don't want to be losing to them. Full stop, do we? We want to be getting something out of them. Yeah,
absolutely. Gary said Loppy just can't play attacking football. But until we get legs in midfield, these beatings are going to keep happening. Amount of times it's 4 against 3. So, what have we played? 10 games, including the cup, and we've been beat 4-1 twice and 5-1. It's not the progression, the slow progression that I was hoping for, to be honest. And there's a lot of shit that I've read, or heard as well from journalists and shit that these kind of results wouldn't happen under Moyes, which it's irrelevant. But you do wonder whether we would have capitulated like we did, and you've got to lay some of the blame for that at J-Lo's door. To talk about getting rid of him or changing, to me, that's still a conversation that's way down the road. But if this shit keeps carrying on, it's not going to be that far down the road, is it?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure what Gary's saying here. If you want to clarify, Gary, it's just Loppy just can't play attacking football. He did play some very good attacking football with Sevilla, and I think he struggled at Real Madrid. Didn't Spain weren't the best under him. I don't think it's like that he's not capable of it. Or do you think that he can't get West Ham going playing attacking football? Because he certainly can't really get West Ham going full stop at the moment, can he?
No, that's the issue, isn't it? We don't really seem to have got going at all. In spurts here and there, we've looked all right. And like I said before, certain players at certain times in certain games have looked all right. But there's fuck all consistency. having said that, I don't believe that we're any less of a chance of beating United now than we were before the Tottenham game.
Well, I do, because we don't have Kudus. Honestly, I think he's our trump card against United. That's the only reason I say it. Look, we're still in with a chance. We're at home and we should raise our game, but Kudus would have been really fucking handy, mate. I really believe that.
So what would you do, or what do we do now if you're J-Lo? Yeah, what's the plan?
Well, I think Somerville's got to come in on that left, because he's got to give us some kind of outlet. I think obviously Bowen stays on the right and Antonio up front. It's whether or not he's got the bollocks to drop Paquetá or not. But can he even do that at the moment? Because if he was going to drop Paquetá, I would have been playing Kudus in the middle every fucking day of the week, and I'd be having Alvarez and Guido probably in behind Kudus, anchoring that double anchor in the midfield. You probably wouldn't want those two and Souček and hoping to create anything against Man United. So you probably got to pin your hopes on Paquetá actually having a good game and pulling his finger out.
Yeah. I was just thought something when you mentioned Somerville. What was the deal with the substitutions on the other day? Because from memory, they were trying to bring them on when it was 1-1, and then they were still trying to bring them on when we were 4-1.
I know. It took so long to get Alvarez on the pitch that he missed out. Like 3 goals went in. I'm sure of it. That's what it felt like.
Definitely.
It was like 4. Yeah, it was definitely at least 2. I don't know if it was just after them going ahead. It probably was, to be honest. It was probably after the off, but it felt like 3 goals. It was like, get the fucking players on the field, will you?
Yeah. I think he's got to play Alvarez.
Yes, 100%.
Alvarez just offers that extra level of security and comfort. I don't know. You could be right with Paquetá. We need him to have a decent game, and then you'd have to leave out either Guido or Souček, wouldn't you? But yeah, I agree. Somerville will have to come in. I don't know if he will, though. I don't know what the deal is there.
I don't know why he hasn't been starting anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't. So, is there something to read into that he's not a favourite? I don't know.
He has to come in, mate, because he's the left side, right? So the only reason Kudus has been playing on the left-hand side is because Bowen's got to take the right if you're not going to play him up front. So I think it's got to be a no-brainer for Somerville to come on. It's just what is he going to do with regards to Paquetá? I don't know.
I don't know.
Blind Freddie can see that Paquetá ain't on this game. I don't know. We always say the last thing we want to see is a bloody midfield trio of Souček, bloody Alvarez and Guido. But, it actually is dropping Souček over dropping Paquetá the best thing to do at the moment. I mean,
not on form, no.
Not on form. But you got to then hope, if you're going to roll the dice and keep Paquetá in, that he actually has a bloody good game for a change.
Or be prepared to pull him off, because you generally know in the first half an hour whether he's going to be on it or not. I don't know. I mean, I think he was at least 2 of those goals at the weekend originated from him just not doing the fucking basics. And it's all right, the tricks and flicks not coming off, but when it's costing you like that, that's a fucking major concern. James Lampro said we're going toe to toe with Spurs except for the 20 minutes after half time.
We were, but I think 13 corners in the first half kind of says how much pressure we were under. I think I've said it before. I think they equalised, luckily, with the hitting both posts. However, it was the 5th or 6th shot in a row that we'd ridden our luck on, and we were defending quite well, but we were having to do a lot of defending at that point in time.
Yeah. And he's also commented that Kudus leaves a massive gap attacking wise.
I agree.
It does indeed. Gary Brock said we now have a natural left winger and he's not starting. Just don't get it. playing Kudus out of position. Yeah, I'm scratching my head at a number of decisions that are being made. I genuinely don't think J-Lo knows his team. I don't think he knows the best format. He's got to work it out soon, because what are we now, 15th? And look, I know it's still early days. If we'd have won on Saturday, we would have gone up to fucking 8th or something like that. But if we don't pick up points and we end up down there, it's not going to be fun.
Mate, if my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle, wouldn't she? We didn't fucking win. We got absolutely battered.
We did. Nickamang, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. I know we aren't getting the results at the moment, but I still prefer 43% possession than low 30. Looking forward to the United game. Fuck me, that's the most optimistic, positive aspect looking comment I think I've ever read. We got beat 4-1, but 43% possession makes it all right.
I don't think any amount of possession makes up for 2 wins in our opening 8 games. Is it 8 now?
No, fuck, I don't know how many we've played now. Too fucking many. Look, I said at the last season and the start of this season that I, would be expecting it to be a bit of a roller coaster, and I would take that over the turgid, predictable shit that we put up with for the last sort of 12 months. And I remember saying, we'd win games, we'd lose games, but it would be more entertaining. So having more possession, actually, having a go at teams. I do understand where Nickamang's coming from. It's just hard to take when you're getting spanked more often than not. So,
to be honest, though, those possession stats come up later on in the game. I think most games that we've played in, we've given the ball away early doors. Even against Ipswich, I felt like they were edging position in that first half up to the point we went 2-1 up. I know we had some good opportunities in that, but that could have gone either way. And it wasn't until we were comfortable that we were starting to play the ball around, and that number was ticking up in terms of possession in our favour. So I don't think we are playing this massive possession game. I think a lot of the games we're playing, we are surrendering the ball and we are playing deep, and
Another comment here from James. You'd think J-Lo, who has his own coaching staff, and they brainstormed the whole squad formation. You'd fucking think so, wouldn't you? I mean, that's the guy's job. I'm quite happy to sit here and say I don't know what the best formation is, but I was going to say I'm not a football manager. I am, but an over 35s Division 3 team. It's a different kettle of fish. These guys should at least have a fucking plan, and it doesn't seem to me that they have. And if the plan's there and it's not working, then fair enough. You live or die by your decisions. But I just don't see I don't see what's going on, really.
When was the last time we played a formation that wasn't either 4-5-1 or 4-3-3? If you're trying to be positive about it, I think we've always played that lone striker with the wingers supporting, a couple of defensive midfielders, and a number 10 that does what he likes and turns up when he likes, and then we're inviting a whole load of pressure onto our defence.
Really good comment here from Ben H. Thanks for commenting, Ben. Every game looks like a new manager has taken over. That's absolutely spot on. We are eight league games, 10 games in. It doesn't look like anything's gelling. It doesn't look like you can see. All right, we got beat, but there's signs of progression. It's either hit or miss, isn't it? And most of the time, it's missing at the moment.
Look, we're not low blocking and getting 0-0s and losing games 1-0, we're not attack, and then just conceding goals at the back because we've left it ourselves open.
Yeah.
We're just stuck in the middle. We just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on what we are at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless you knew what we had under Moyes, but I'm not going to harp on about the past. We need to look to the future. But he's got to sort it out quick. If you ask me, I think his patience is wearing thin, and he's running out of time to get it right.
Yeah. So how long? I don't know. I mean, if we're still talking about this and sitting around 15th, 16th, coming up to Christmas, he'd have to be under some serious pressure then, wouldn't he?
Well, Pellegrini went between Christmas and New Year in 18th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're languishing around 17th or 18th come Christmas time, I think he'll be getting a very twitchy arsehole.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody could disagree with that. Not with the, I say the players that we've got, like we've got some kind of fucking God-given right to be higher up the league. We haven't, but we have got some really good players. That
we have.
Even with average management, we should be sitting mid-table comfortably.
We should. And I think if people harp on about the likes of Arteta, right, and he was given time and he had a whole bad season. Yeah, he did have a whole bad season, but a whole bad season for Arsenal and Arteta is finishing eighth. It's not rattling around the bottom end of the league, risking relegation. Us having a wobble, is dangerous. You come Christmas and we're 17th or 18th, we don't have the luxury of sticking with, a manager that needs to needs to get a whole season behind him. I think he needs to sort it out in the next month or so. Or, I think come Christmas, he'll be getting his P45.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's hope that we get back on track against them red scum from my own town.
Hope so, mate. Hope we can do them.
Yeah, we've definitely got a chance. I mean, they're fucking probably the most similar to us in the league, in that they're very fucking up and down. You never know who's going to turn up. They'd be capable of beating us, or we're capable of beating them 4 or 5-0. So, look, there's a couple more comments I'll just flash up quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. Hang on a second. There was one about Kudus. Where was that? Now looking like Kudus will have a 6-game ban, according to referees and UK media. That seems very fucking harsh for what he did.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you look at the incident, and the Spurs guy's got his fucking hands on his chest before he pushes him away, right? So there's the first bit of contact on the player is the Spurs guy on Kudus. Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't put his hands in his face. I think that's a definite red card. I actually think the other guy's got to fucking go with him.
Yeah, agreed. There's a comment here from Be Careful What You Wish For FC. Well, you all wanted this. Be careful what you wish for. Well, I didn't want to see us get beat 4-1. I didn't want to see us get beat 4-1 against Chelsea. I didn't want to see the disorganisation that we're watching week on week. I wanted change, and I've got change, and I'm happy to go with whatever the outcome of that is. And you've got to give the guy a bit of time and hope that he turns things around. But as we've just been discussing, there will come a time and a place where that it's no longer the patience from me and no doubt the other supporters. But I'm certainly still glad that we got the change from where we were last season.
Yeah, look, and I'd just add that I probably had as much patience as anyone with Moyes, to be honest. I was always wary of making the change. Whether it's right or wrong, I think at the end of the day, come the end of last season, our fan base was toxically split, and I don't think you can carry on forward like that, regardless of what you think. I think it had to be a change. Whether it was the right change, I don't think too many people were saying, "Oh, can we get Lopetegui in?" I think people were looking at the likes of Tuchel and going, "Oh, who's Tim Steidten got contacts with that he's going to pull in?" But we've ended up with Sullivan's choice, rightly or wrongly. At the moment, it doesn't look like the brightest of decisions. I'll continue to support West Ham and back the current manager, up until, we're on our knees. But, at the moment, it ain't working, and we want to see change as soon as possible. and I mean change on the pitch.
Absolutely. Final comment here from Ben says maybe the whole thing about being a head coach with Steiden in charge doesn't sit well with J-Lo. Look, maybe he would have been well aware of the dynamic when he came in. I don't really fucking buy into that. You know, if that's an ego thing, well, fuck off. I'm not interested in fucking egos. You paid to do a job. And you do that job to the best of your ability, whether you're a head coach, manager, whatever. If you're in control and in charge of the first team, that's your priority. Doesn't matter, but you know, unless there's some toxic environment that we don't know about. But I think I think he just needs to be better at what he's doing.
I don't think it's a thing, to be honest. I think there's a lot of shit stirring around that whole dynamic. I'm not sure that it's such a thing. You know, there was, I know Sean Whetstone posted something on Twitter today that had Steiden giving Bowen a pat and a good luck before the game. It was like making a meal of that. And I'm like, really? What? So Steiden can't walk down the tunnel, see the players and pat the captain on the back and wish him all the best. It's like, you know, look, there may or may not be friction there, right? But I don't think that's the reason that things aren't going too well at the moment. I think more's being made of that than is even possible, let alone probable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, onwards and upwards. Can only get better from here, can't it?
Yeah, that was a miserable fucking game, wasn't it?
It was.
Let's forget that ever happened.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, we move on to the next one. We'll be optimistic again, like fucking kids, lambs to the slaughter. You build your hopes up again through the week. We'll have a chat on Thursday, preview the game for the weekend, and we'll do it all again. Put this one behind us.
Yeah, as a not so wise woman once told me, it's only a game.
Anyway, look, thank you all for watching. We couldn't get in the pub today. I got a bit on. King is over in Miami at the moment, and Nate's over in Perth. But yeah, good of you to come on, and thanks for the comments. We'll be back on Thursday evening. Definitely be me and Dave, and probably Nate. I'm not sure if Kingy will be joining us. But yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Dave, good chatting to you, mate.
Yeah,
one thing
smiling,
left to
mate.
say. Yeah,
come on, you Irons.
Go on, you Irons.